Hi, this is your host, Sonia Novik, and I invite you to pierce through the veil of what lies beyond the living into heaven. What is beyond what appears to be real? We invite you to explore with us what lies beyond this dimension and into many other dimensions. Come join us now.
Touch my soul. Can you feel the mood here? A presence leaves near.
Welcome everybody to Beyond the Living's This show. I'm your host, Sonia Novik, on Real Coaching Radio, where we're putting a new spin in coaching and personal development through social broadcasting. And today, I have no guest. Actually, the guest is me. One of my guests was not able to make it. So I'm going to have a show about 12-strand DNA activation and also about channeling and what it takes to be a channel or a trans channel. So I guess we're going to get started right away. And for those people that have any questions while we have this show, please feel free to call our radio talk show studio line, which is at 303-872-0503. Or send us a comment or question at RCRN on Twitter, or connect with us with Skype at Real Coaching Radio. That's it, Real Coaching Radio. So just to cover a little bit of what I've been up to here in Vegas for the last 2 months, I've been extremely busy. People are really wanting their DNA to be activated. There's 12-strand DNA activations, which is pretty exciting. And I'll explain a little bit of what that is. It's basically, most scientists believe there's only 2 strands of DNA, because the rest of it they don't understand. Because they don't understand it, they call it junk DNA. So whatever they don't understand, they usually do that with lack of understanding. So what the beings that I channel, which is the Avatar Consciousness Group or Group Consciousness, is they have been activating people's 12-strand DNA, and they said that they come in pairs, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And the purpose of it is for the ascension process, for people that are undergoing, and this planet that's undergoing the ascension process, is for you to actually be able to use your inner senses. You have outer senses. You have 5 senses. You have your auditory, visual, kinesthetic, olfactory, and then I forget what the 5th sense is. I think is, let's see, so there's touch, see, feel, hear, and I guess the 5th sense is your intuition. So basically the purpose of this is to fully activate all of your senses, to fully activate them on the inside. Because what you're using right now is you're using your outer senses to perceive things with, okay? So what you're doing instead is you're actually perceiving things with basically the inner eye, or the third eye as it's called, your inner ear, your auditory sense, but it's an inner auditory, so it's very different from using your outer ear, if you like. And then your tactile or feeling, it's your inner feelings, and that's called what I call intuition, what's coming to you in the moment. So what the beings that I am channeling are stating very clearly is that once we get into the 5th or 6th or 7th dimension, you will not be able to use your outer senses anymore. You'll be like a blind, deaf, mute person walking around. And that your inner senses are what actually is going to be activated, and it's going to be accessible and of use to you. So isn't that interesting? So the reason why they're activating these 12 strands is so that you can have all 5 senses fully working and activated and working for you. And then the other thing that I've been teaching here in Las Vegas, Nevada, is how to become a channel. You already are, you just don't know it. Every single person on this planet already channels. They just aren't aware that they're actually doing it. So I'm teaching intuition, beginners intuition and channeling classes, and then we get more advanced as time goes on, so that people are aware and kind of realize that that's what's going on. So I'm just kind of today talking about those experiences that people have had with the workshops, with the activations. Usually when a person gets their 12th strand DNA activation, they feel very, very high. They feel like they are, basically most people after I do the activations are wondering if I have given them some kind of drug or something, and I tell them no, that's your natural endorphins, and it's your natural, it's your body and the way it's reacting to the activation, if you like. So I think that's pretty cool that happens. And then many people have shared different things that have occurred to them, if you like, in the activation. So it's been really, really interesting how that all has unfolded, and how some of my students are now actually channeling themselves and doing healing channeling and all kinds of really cool stuff. So it's been a really amazing ride, if you like. I have a question to ask all of you is, when you are getting information, you might have like an inkling to call somebody or an inkling to go do something, and it kind of comes out of left field. That's usually your intuition that is actually coming out, in you, and that is driving you to do something. Like sometimes when you feel like you're being prompted to go to the park or go somewhere or do something, and all of a sudden when you go do it, you get rewarded because you actually end up meeting with people that were hoping that you would be there. So, excuse me, I'm going to be eating my ice cream while I talk to everybody. So that's one of the things that I'd like to talk to you guys about. Then the other thing that I was going to talk to you guys about is, is we actually just came back from I guess it's the grid activation, the crystalline grid activation. We went to Mount Shasta last week. I went to Mount Shasta with about 6 or 7 people. Actually, there was 8 of us total. And that was really an incredible experience. We actually, physically, we were told that we were going to meet with some of the Ascended Masters, actually in physical form, and that did happen, by the way. The first person the first Ascended Master that actually met with us, and he's very famous for being in Mount Shasta, is Saint Germain. And I have 5 other people to prove that. And to verify that that's a true statement. So we actually got to sit with Saint Germain and speak to him. And actually he taught us some classes. He had a little class with us, which was pretty cool. And for the first time, I've been going to Shasta for about 25, 30 years. And for the first time that I've ever gone there, and every single time I used to go there, I wanted to be living on the mountain and be a part of it. And every time I got, no, you're not supposed to come up here and live here. You're just supposed to come up here and do your rituals, do your ceremony, do whatever you're coming to do, but then go home. So this time, what was really incredible is when I went up to Shasta and we met with Saint Germain, he actually invited me to go live there. So I'm pretty honored and pretty blown away because of the invitation, even though I am going to move to Hawaii. I'm probably going to be moving to the Big Island, not probably, but definitely here in the next 6 months. That's going to be happening, or sooner. And so I'm probably going to go to Shasta to spend some time with Saint Germain, because he doesn't want us to do that. He did say that he wants to have us come, or me come, and learn a bunch of stuff from him, be his apprentice, and then I'll be, maybe probably going there for 2 weeks at a time. So I'm really excited about that. So that's what's been going on in my life lately. So if people have any questions about how to channel or any questions about 12 Strand DNA activation, anything like that, feel free to call or put in your questions in the chat room. And I'll be happy to answer them. So this radio show was going to be more about my experiences and the experiences of the people that actually went with me up on the mountain. I have 6 of my favorite students, if you like. And yes, I do have favorite students. People that have really embraced this work and are really taking it to the next level that I'm very excited about. So that's kind of what's been going on in my life. And it's funny, because Coach Steve was like, I haven't heard from you. You've been, where have you been? And it's like, I've been swamped. My practice has just exploded here in Vegas. I'm doing activations every other day. I'm actually teaching 2 classes during the week, the intuition classes. So I've been and then I have some private sessions with people. So I've been really, really busy with work. A good busy, but I've been very preoccupied and occupied. Last week I was gone to Shasta most of the week. And this week I just have been kind of like the weekend was for rest and regrouping. And now that I have rested and regrouped, now it's actually being really busy with doing private sessions and all kinds of really cool stuff. So if there are any questions, please call into the chat room or actually type them in the chat room. And you can ask me some of the questions. I'm teaching people how to be telepathic and how to learn to do that with their pets first and then with people. So there's a lot of cool what I call advanced higher teachings that I'm teaching now to people and those people that are ready. So, okay, Stickum listeners want to know, what is channeling? Okay, that's a good question. So channeling actually is when you allow information to come to you that's not coming from you directly. In other words, when you allow information to come in from source, if you like, or from a higher power, whatever you want to call it, Mother, Father, God, people have different questions about that. So that's what I mean by channeling. Like, I'll give you several examples and then I'll answer your other questions. One question for that would be, there's several famous channelers. Seth, okay, the book of Seth. Actually, that lady channeled a group consciousness called Seth, okay? And she did pretty much the same thing. She was a trance channel like me. She checked out, and then Seth came in, that group awareness, and started channeling through her. People that are musicians usually channel, okay, their music. They actually create songs or they create sonatas if they're classical. So like Bach, Beethoven, all those people were actually channeling. This was actually something that they put their name on, but it was channeled from source. This is not something that they actually had. Einstein, when he got the theory of relativity, he actually channeled it, and he even talks about that. He said, once I lost my mind and got rid of it, then this information could come forth. So that's what channeling means. Is you being the receiver, if you like, the mouthpiece to put this information out there that's for the good of all. So stuff, anybody can learn to do that. So this stuff, okay, so let's say specifically channeling intuition. Yes, anybody can do that wants to do this. Absolutely. You have all the tools, all the abilities, and all the necessary ingredients in your body and in your mind. He wants to know if I can contact spirits. Yes, of course, and they contact me all the time. So that's something that happens once you open up. So yes, I can contact spirits and they can contact me. So it's a combination of both. I've been having these abilities since I was a very, very young child. I did start to actually become a trance channel here about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago. And it actually happened here on Real Coaching Radio, that all of a sudden these beings came in and started talking through me, if you like. So ever since then, I've become a channeler or a trance channeler, if you like. If so, he could really use my assistance. Okay, well, how would he like my assistance? What does he need? Okay, well, while you think about it, person on Stickum, please hang in there. We're going to go to commercial, and we'll be right back, and then you can actually go ahead and ask your question of what exactly are you looking for in terms of which deceased relative do you want to contact. So if you'd like to go to commercial, we're ready to go to commercial now.
Let's talk about your future. Do you know what's in it for you? More of the same? Or how about the life you dream of? Career advancement, financial security, a healthier lifestyle, spiritual enlightenment, effective communication, and fulfilling relationships. Sometimes we must have an extra boost. Sometimes we need a breakthrough. Announcing breakthrough courses for the life that you really want to live.
Our spiritual development is a journey that needs deep personal commitment to have a lasting impact on our lives. A high level of awareness is the beginning of all areas of success in our lives. With our spiritual house in order, our relationships, finance, and health find a powerful balance. For you, your friends, your family, there's a new online community with attainment-setting tools and professional experts that can help you create your own spiritual plan and put it into practice. Listen now for the details from your radio talk show host to learn more on how to sign up.
Yay, we're back. Whatever that was. And let's see, you can go to my website, which is actually Beyond the Living, and you can check out how to go to our class that actually is going to be taught by Lily Finch and myself. And that class is, I believe, the science of transformation or something like that. Sorry. I don't have it here in front of me. And it's going to start actually at the end of the month, and we're doing a radio show tomorrow, as a matter of fact, at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So now, to get back to this gentleman that is basically saying that his grandmother passed away 6 years ago and would like to contact her. And the question that I have for you is if you want to contact her through me or if you want to learn how to contact her directly. So I'm just waiting for this gentleman to chat and type in. And if this gentleman is willing to, Coach Steve, if he can call you on the phone line and we connect him into the chat, into the studio, then, we can answer his questions. It's kind of hard to do when they're just typing and stuff, but I certainly could do it just to give you a taste. So just to let you know that I need this gentleman to call into the chat room or call into the studio so that we can directly talk and you can ask questions, and then I can tune into your grandma and have her come here, and then she can answer them through me. So that's something you can do. Or what you can do is, if you're interested in getting a private session with me, you can do it, I think, here through the studio. There's an area right here where you can contact the author and put in the comments on how to contact you, and we can have a private session. If not, you can go to my website, sonianovik.com, and there actually you can type in that you want to be contacted, and we can set up a private session over the phone. It's entirely up to you, but this is something I can easily do. It's not a very complicated thing, is to contact people that have transitioned over. I do know this, that your grandma already transitioned to the other side, And no, she's not in hell. She's in heaven. And she's quite happy, and she'd be more than happy to speak with you. But I need to get a little bit more direction from you as to what direction you want. Phone lines are down because of the storm. Okay. So maybe we can do this some other time. It's going to be a little bit challenging, but you can type maybe 1 or 2 questions, and then we'll move on to somebody else and something else because I can sense other people that are listening and attentive on the line. So, if anybody else wants to step in and go ahead and come on in, feel free to do that. In the meantime, what I can do is, if you can ask the question, what specifically would you like to know about your grandmother? What's on your mind? Yes, I can be telepathic at times, but I want to be very specific. Here are the questions that you might have. So when you come back and type that into the chat room, I'll know what's going on with you. So, for people that want to learn how to be a medium or a trans medium, like I am, or actually I wouldn't recommend being a trans medium. That's when and let me explain what medium is. Mediumship is when you actually are talking to people that have crossed over or that are deceased, okay, whether they've crossed over or not. And a channeler is somebody that actually channels much higher frequency. I'll give you an example. I channel some celestial beings that are comprised of ascended masters, archangels, and even more interesting than that is I have actually channeled beings that are from other planets. So, okay, so she had a stroke and has never had the opportunity to talk after that, I guess. Where after that? Oh, with her after that. Okay. So what would you like to talk to her about? What would you like to tell her or say so that she can respond back? And while we wait for that response, I will continue on with this definition of a person that channels, or a channeler, if you like, is somebody that, if you had a radio, which all of you do in your car, and you're tuning it to a certain radio station, then you can actually understand how channeling works if you open up your mind in the same way. So if you open up your mind and intuitively get answers, you'd be channeling, you'd be moving your radio dial to that frequency that you want to get information from, and you'd get a download just like you do with your radio. So he wants to know, is there anything that she wants to say? Well, let me tune in, and we're going to have to be silent here for a minute, Coach Steve, so I can tune into his grandma and see if she wants to say anything. And I know that's hard to do when we're doing a radio show, but it would be a good thing so that I can get centered and focused on her energy and pick it up. So... yeah, it's really interesting. I'm getting actually noise through my headset, kind of like reaching through another timeline. This is really trippy. That's been happening to me lately, kind of like multi-dimensionally traveling, if you like. And there was a lot of things that she wanted to say to you before she passed away and before she got the stroke and was unable to speak to you. She tried to come into your dream several times to actually speak with you, because in her dream state, if you like, she was in perfect health, and she could speak very clearly. So there were several times that she tried to, and you may or may not remember, but before and soon after she got the stroke, she actually tried to come into your dreams 3 or 4 times and actually have a conversation with you. There was certain things that happened, I guess, with your brother that she felt really bad about, that she basically said that she interceded between the two of you, and is something that now in hindsight, if she likes, now that she's on the other side, realizes that she shouldn't have gotten in the middle of. And that it caused it caused a little bit of strife between both you and your brother, and actually between her. She felt like she was caught in the middle of it, and that she has learned her lesson in terms of not interfering, if you like. That was the main thing that she felt like she had not completed with you, or to let you know, was that she felt kind of like she shouldn't have gotten in the middle between the two of you. And that she hopes that you and your brother have worked things out, that enough time has passed that that you can forgive each other. And if you haven't done that yet, she would highly recommend for you to do that, to release and let go, and to not hold on to that burden, if you like, or not hold on to, okay, he has a brother but doesn't know what she means. Okay, I had to close my eyes, by the way, while I was doing this. So, well, there was a situation, I guess, that happened before she actually had the stroke between you and your brother. And I don't know you from Adam, so obviously I would have never known that you had a brother. And I very clearly saw that there was an issue that happened between the two of you that she kind of got in the middle of. There was an argument or something going on that she basically felt regret afterwards, that she felt like bummed that she actually had gotten in the middle of you. So that's what she's saying, is that if there's anything that she can pass on to you, anything that she can share with you, is to please let go of any I forget what the word is, that you're holding, any resentment that you're holding for anybody on this planet, but especially for your brother, because there was some resentment going on between the two of you, to let go and release it and forgive yourself first, and then forgive him, and let go of it, and then forget about it. Because it's only going to, when something does happen to you and you are no longer in your body, like your grandma, it'll affect you in the same way, and then you won't have a voice, first of all, for people to hear you, and you won't have a body to be able to work it out. So that's basically what the message is. So hopefully you understand it and you get it at this point. But if there's any resentment with anybody in your life, to actually let go of the resentment, forgive yourself first, forgive them, and move forward in your life. And no, it doesn't mean that you actually have to forgive and then be friends, or, if there's some people in your life that you feel like you are not in balance with, that you don't resonate with, okay, there's no reason why you should continue being friends with them. I know I've done that with several family members. I forgave them. I absolved myself and them of whatever had happened. And at this point, if I had walked down the street and met them in person, would I be friends with them? And the answer would be no. The truth would be that we have nothing much in common, and there's no reason for me to actually speak with them. It doesn't mean that I don't love them, and it doesn't mean that I haven't not forgiven them. It just means that we don't resonate well together. We don't get, if you like, we don't see eye to eye. So that's pretty much what it means. So if there's any other questions or any other people that want to jump in and ask something, please feel free to do that. There's much more information your grandmother would like to share with you, but that's the kind of thing that I set up a private appointment with you, and that we can really get into it instead of doing this in public, because there's several things that are very private and specific to you that you would like us to talk about privately and not do it in public. So I'm just letting you know. So yes, somebody put in the chat room, I'm sorry, I love you, bye, sort of, right? Well, it's not like, it's like, I forgive you is not I'm sorry. I forgive you is more like you are forgiving and forgetting, and that's why I like calling it absolving. To absolve something is to dissolve it. Okay, if you're wondering what absolution is to completely dissolve it and let go of it and not have a charge about it. It's for you to be neutral about it. So, do you see anything about her feelings on me and this girl, Brittany? No, I wasn't really, that was not the message that she had. I think that's more your concern is the feelings, for Brittany that you have and that you have some questions about her. And that really, that has nothing to do with your grandmother. Is the sense that I'm getting is that that's something that you probably want like a private reading about this person, about Brittany. So again, that's something that we could take up on a private session, and I can give you a lot more in-depth information than I would be doing here on the radio. It's just more appropriate for us because we can get into a lot of different things. So that's why I'm not bringing it up here. And this is not something that your grandma is really concerned about. Your grandma's more concerned about your welfare and her relationship with you, not the relationship that you have with Brittany. Anyhow, I'm being told that we're going to go to commercial, so we're going to go to commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Let's talk about your future. Do you know what's in it for you? More of the same? Or how about the life you dream of? Career advancement, financial security, a healthier lifestyle, spiritual enlightenment, effective communication, and fulfilling relationships. Sometimes we must have an extra boost. Sometimes we need a breakthrough. Announcing breakthrough courses for the life that you really want to live.
Our spiritual development is a journey that needs deep personal commitment to have a lasting impact on our lives. A high level of awareness is the beginning of all areas of success in our lives. With our spiritual house in order, our relationships, finance, and health find a powerful balance. For you, your friends, your family, there is a new online community with attainment-setting tools and professional experts that can help you create your own spiritual plan and put it into practice. Listen now for the details from your radio talk show host to learn more on how to sign up.
And we're back. I just didn't have the microphone turned up. So, yes, we are definitely back. And we'll continue on this stream of consciousness, if you like, of communicating with those that have passed on and actually communicating with higher beings and a higher consciousness that's here and tuning into it. So, if somebody else would like to ask a question from any of the other stations that we broadcast to, that would be great. We can either do a channeling question or we can do a mediumship question. And I can actually talk about the process of how to become more intuitive so that you can get the answers for yourself. So wouldn't that be nice for you to finally, instead of having to depend on others, so when I say others, it would be depending on other people to go get a reading, a tarot reading, or a channeling session or something. So what I'm teaching to people to do is to be able to talk and actually talk to the spirits or whatever you want to call them for themselves, with themselves, and by themselves so they can get all the answers that they need. So, it's interesting how this process of unfoldment occurred for me and how I've always been able to talk to people that have crossed over. That has been an ongoing thing. He's asking just for one of those private things for you to express. Okay, so he basically said, okay. He is asking just for one of those private... So he needs to ask a specific question about his girlfriend or the girl that he's interested in. I get a sense that it's actually a girlfriend. So we can certainly ask about, things. But I don't want this to turn into, does she love me, does she not, kind of thing. For that, actually... There's lots of psychic people that can go there and do that for you. I'm more about bringing you a higher message, a higher purpose of delivering something that's more like a deeper substance, than people that want to have their fortune read. So I'm just letting you know that I can do all these things, but I don't usually do them. I mostly do things that will help you enhance your awareness, if you like, and expand your awareness to realize who you truly are. So that's what I'm about. So anyhow, I'm going to go back to speaking about the process of getting your own answers and why that's so important, that instead of you relying on other people to get confirmation of something that you already know, is because the truth is that you already have it within you. You already have these abilities within you, and the only difference between you and me is that I actually have chosen to enhance these abilities and put some energy and effort into them and put my attention into them in order to expand them and have these capabilities, if you like. Kind of like the movie X-Men. You know, there were some kids that were certainly talented in one thing or another. So I'm kind of sort of like that, you know, in some ways. So here comes the real question. He has a real big crush on this girl, and he doesn't know if he likes her or not. And again, these are questions that, you know, you can get a free reading with somebody if you go to my website, Sonia Novik, actually beyondthelivingagatheringplace.info. You will find there you can go and get your questions for free. Ask there, and they'll be able to answer your question. I don't answer questions of this nature, to be honest with you. So I would ask you to please go to Beyond the Living a Gathering Place, and there you can get a free 4 or 5 minute reading with somebody, and they'll give you all the answers that you want. So it's not that I can't do it. It's just something I choose not to do. And the reason why I choose not to do that is very, very simple. It's because I'm more about teaching a higher purpose to you directly than to be stuck on, does she love me or not? Am I going to make money this week or not? Am I going to win on this horse or not? Am I going to be able to go gamble and make a ton of money? I don't do that kind of stuff. So let me just tell you a little bit, and I know some of this is going to rub you the wrong way, but the truth is that you have the answer already about this girl within you, and all you need to do is sit in stillness and quiet, and the first thing that pops into your mind is the right answer. So I'm giving you a little bit of a training here on how to be your own psychic and how to be your own intuitive. So if the first thing that comes into your mind says this girl's not interested in you at all, then it's true, and there's nothing that's going to change that. And no psychic on this planet is going to change that by telling you, oh yeah, she's really interested in you, et cetera, et cetera. So just keep that in mind, that I think it'd be really, really, he just wants a message from grandma, not about the girl. Okay, well that was really confusing than the message that you wrote before. It was definitely confusing. The way you asked the question was about the girl. So here, I'm going to teach you also how to communicate with your grandma right here and right now. So I want you to focus on your grandma, okay? And focus on the question that you have for her and put it out there, okay? Whatever that question may be. And then immediately, the first thing that pops into your head, the very first thing that pops into your head, what is it? Type it in here and I'll tell you if it's accurate or not. Because I got to tell you that you can get the answers for yourself. You don't need me to get the answers, to be quite honest with you. This is something that you can absolutely do on your own. You have more of a connection to your grandmother than I do. So, so if you want to get a message from your grandmother, okay, what's the message? Be more specific. You know, what exactly is the message that you want to relay to your grandmother? So formulate that in your head and let me know when you've done that. And just type, I've done that, and then put it out there, okay? And ask and visualize your grandma, okay? And then let me know when you've done that and type it in here and say, I already see her like right in front of me or right beside me or whatever, okay? And then I'll tell you what the next step is, because I want you to get these answers for yourself, because this is what I teach. I teach people how to do this. And that way you don't need any money to pay anybody for a reading. So, anyhow, while you do that and get that put together, I am going to continue talking about what it takes to actually be an intuitive person and get information from your own intuition as opposed to having somebody else do a reading for you or give you some information. So one of the things that I teach people how to do is actually, like I'm doing with you right now, is a perfect thing. So that people get a sense to get their own answers. The other thing that I do is I teach them how to gain intuition and how to trust their intuition by doing readings with cards. Okay, that to me is your training wheels in terms of how to learn how to do an intuitive session. And it's sometimes a little bit more challenging to do that for yourself than to do it for others, and especially strangers or friends that you sort of know and more like acquaintances, and you'll be pretty right on in terms of the information that comes forth. So I just wanted to put that out there. But while this person gets that put together, I will continue to talk about how to actually channel higher frequencies and how to get messages from your angels, archangels, etc. Since I haven't done a show like this in a long time, because I usually have guests. So what's a good way to actually communicate with your angels? You all have angels that protect you, which are guardian angels, okay? Every single human on this planet has one, whether they know it or not. So what is it about our guardian angel, actually, that how can you get in touch with that energy, that frequency, and know that you're protected? So one of the things that I would recommend that you do is for you, for you to actually get in touch with that guardian angel, if you like, okay? So that you have like a feeling and understanding that they're there to protect you. And especially, I have a really good exercise that I'll give everybody that'll be very helpful. Before you get in your car and you're going to go drive around, especially if you live in a big city and there's always accidents going on, I would like you to see your guardian angel or visualize or feel your guardian angel around you and get a sense of what you feel around you, or if you can see them. Some people can see them, some people can feel them, some people can hear them, and some people can smell them. Okay, angels smell like cotton candy. I am not kidding you. And the other thing that they smell like is actually like either floral scent or fruity scent. So, just so that you know. What I want you to do is visualize one or two guardian angels and visualize your car, see your car totally surrounded and protected by this golden kind of aura. You know how the saints, they have pictures of saints where they have like an aura around them? What you want to do is visualize that around your car, and the parameter of your car is about 10 feet away from your car. And then before you get in and drive your car off somewhere, just visualize that you're in this bubble, protected bubble, so that no accidents, no cops stop you, give you tickets. Of course, if you're driving 110 miles an hour, obviously you're going to get a ticket. But if you're driving within reason, it'll protect you from other people and from other people's spaciness or not being there. Okay? So I just want you to be aware of it. That's one of the things that I have that I can give you as a tip. So I would recommend that you actually do that to protect yourself before you leave your home and go driving off somewhere. I do it every single time I get into my car. I automatically feel like my guardian angels have whispered in my ear several times. When you're busy driving down the road and you're talking on your phone or you're typing in a phone number for somebody, you're trying to put the number in to talk to somebody and you're distracted. I've had my angel say, look up, be careful. And all of a sudden I prevented an accident from happening. So, and especially in this digital age that we live in, if you don't have a Bluetooth, a Bluetooth headset and you don't have the phone numbers program with a name where you can just say the name out, sometimes we do those silly things. So just be really mindful of your surroundings and who is around you and what's going on, so that it protects you, and it'll make a huge difference for you. Every time I do this, I find that I've avoided accidents. Somebody else has actually gotten into an accident instead of me. Not that I've wished it on anybody, but it's just been something that has assisted me in the process of becoming very aware, if you like. So, again, we're going to go to another commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Our spiritual development is a journey that needs deep personal commitment to have a lasting impact on our lives. A high level of awareness is the beginning of all areas of success in our lives. With our spiritual house in order, our relationships, finance, and health find a powerful balance. For you, your friends, your family, there is a new online community with attainment-setting tools and professional experts that can help you create your own spiritual plan and put it into practice. Listen now for the details from your radio talk show host to learn more on how to sign up.
Let's talk about your future. Do you know what's in it for you? More of the same? Or how about the life you dream of? Career advancement, financial security, a healthier lifestyle, spiritual enlightenment, effective communication, and fulfilling relationships. Sometimes we must have an extra boost. Sometimes we need a breakthrough. Announcing breakthrough courses for the life that you really want to live.
Okay, and we're back. And unfortunately, I'm kind of multitasking here, which is not a good thing. So, let's see. I am going to stop getting distracted by all these distractions that are going on the side. And it's a little bit difficult because we have this whole program here going on that is multifaceted, with the video going on in the chat room and in talking. So, oh, great. Okay. So I guess Coach Steve is going to play a video like 7 minutes before we leave of the show that we had last week with Lily, and that's the person I'm going to be co-teaching with at the end of this month here. So that'll be very cool. But in the meantime, I do have a few minutes to answer a couple of very brief questions. Maybe I'm going to direct the audience to ask particular questions as opposed to the other questions that person was asking, and that is, how do you gain more intuition for yourself? How can I actually communicate with loved ones that have crossed over for myself? Those kind of questions would be really, really cool to get, because then it's showing me that you're, wanting to have more independence, if you like, and have more information about how to communicate with these spirits or these beings or your angels. How many people would like to know how to communicate with their angels directly? I would like to get a kind of a count, and of those people, if they can raise their hand and let me know, I can start you on that journey and start you in that process. So, Nan, okay, great. So the only thing that you need to do, Nan, and first of all, I know Nan pretty well, so I know she is a very touchy-feely kind of person. Here is what I want to kind of share with you, Nan, is since you're touchy-feely and also you can smell things, I want you to put yourself in a sort of quiet, not a sort of quiet, but put yourself in a meditative state, which means a very quiet, mindful state where after the mind chatter goes away, you close your eyes and feel around you and feel if there's a presence around you. And usually the presence of angels feels very warm and fuzzy. It feels very actually, they always, okay, and there's no exceptions here, they just have a very distinct energy. They always have this energy that feels very inviting and very warm and very loving, and sometimes the room gets very, very hot. Okay, it'll go from warm to hot. So just be mindful of that, Nan, and that will assist you. And that what I'd like you to do is just feel what it feels like, because these angels love to actually embrace us, quite literally. You just don't see them. Feel what it feels like to be embraced by your angels, and get a sense of who they are. And the first thing that pops into your head, the first picture or the first word that comes to your head, sometimes angels will not tell you what their names are, but they'll give you the quality of who they are. So if it's an angel, that's the angel of grace. There's the angel of forgiveness. There's the angel of love. There's the angel of freedom. There's many different angels that do different things. So just start tuning in to that energy, to that frequency, and very soon you'll start to resonate with it and realize that it is around you a lot. Anytime that you smell like you're in a heck, your neighbors are cotton candy, the smell of like cotton candy or burning sugar, that is a certain sign that the angels are all around you. Okay, so just be aware of that. Or if you smell a floral scent, like maybe sometimes it is kind of like I don't know if you've ever smelled orange blossoms. They smell a lot like orange blossoms. So that's for those people that have their higher sense, inner scent of smelling very acute and aware. And for those of you that are more tactile, if you like, kinesthetic, okay, I have both lots lately. Okay, good. So you know that there's a lot of them around you protecting you, and that's what I saw for you, Nan. I saw a bunch of angels all around you, and that they're letting you know that they're there, and that's how they let you know. So that's pretty cool, and you all have them, okay? And one of the things that these higher beings that are teaching me and teaching all the people that I teach here in Vegas is very, very key and very important. And after this, I guess we're going to close so that Coach Steve can play the video. Sounds like he would like to play the video. Is one, unless people want to keep going, then, you know, I guess we won't be able to play the video, Coach Steve. But one of the things that is really key and essential here that I want you to get about angels is that they have actually stated to me very, very clearly that you, every single human being on this planet, is absolved. In other words, every single thing that you've thought that you've sinned, I love that word, or that you've done wrong, has been absolved. In other words, it's been cleared, because as far as they are concerned, you are a divine being and you don't have anything to be forgiven for. So the key is for you to forgive yourself, absolve yourself, if you like, of the things that you think you've done wrong, or your sins, if you want to call them that, and actually see yourself in the light that they see you, because the way they see us on planet Earth is that we've chosen to come incarnate in a physical body, and we've come here to experience, regardless of whether you see it as good or bad or indifferent. They see it as experience, and they don't differentiate between good and bad. The only ones that do that is humans, us, okay? And it's due to the fact that, you know, religions have embedded that in our minds, our parents. The one and only golden rule that I live by, okay, and that if you live by this rule, I promise you, you will actually, and this is the one that was given to the Israelites and they threw it out the window, okay, is very simple, and that's treat others as you like to be treated yourself. You know, and it's that simple. So if you want to treat others and steal from others, if you want to cheat others, if you want to be vengeful with others, then that's what you're going to get back. If you want to be treated fairly, honestly, sincerely, lovingly, and you give that out, that's what the universe brings back to you through people. So just keep that in mind. So that's the golden rule is, you know, do unto others as you would have done unto you. And that's how it's written, actually, in the Bible, I guess. So, this is basically one of the things that I would suggest and recommend that people do, because that will start to bring you actually into integrity with yourself and with others. So if all of a sudden, and I know this has happened to me and other people, you're walking down the street and all of a sudden you see, or you're in a hotel and somebody left a hat somewhere and you go, oh, cool. And you just grab it and take it home with you. That's not the right thing to do. The thing I would have done is I would have grabbed the hat, taken it to, the reception and told them, hey, I found this hat in the bathroom in the hotel. Maybe the person that owns it will come by and pick it up, or they'll call you and ask you if you found a hat. So that's one of the things that I would recommend for people to do, because then if you leave something behind, right, and you do that good deed, maybe that will happen, that all of a sudden that person, and that happened to me actually, where just immediately, almost the next day, I got that favor return where I actually had lost, I think it was my wallet or something of importance, and it was right then and there. The person saw that I dropped it and actually gave it to me and said, hey, you just dropped your wallet. So isn't that pretty cool how that works? So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk to all of you about. And obviously the other thing is how to get in touch with your angels. How to get in touch with archangels also are some people's guides. Not everybody has archangels as guides, but they are always there to protect you, and that's their role. That's their purpose and that's how they were designed, by the way. So if you want to actually, let's say you're in a pretty heavy-duty bad situation that you got yourself into, you can always call upon the archangels. They will immediately be there, and I don't care if 6 billion people were calling them at the same time, they would be there for every single one of the people on the planet, because these beings are actually energetic beings. They're not in physical form, and they can be in 10 million places or 6 billion places at once. So that's the other thing that I recommend and suggest. If you find yourself in a tight spot, or if you find yourself in a situation where, let's say that you end up either in a bad neighborhood or you get a sense that somebody's going to do something to you or try to do something to you, call upon your archangels. Okay, call upon the archangels. Usually the liberator archangels are Archangel Michael and Archangel Gabriel. They are the liberators. So if there's a situation where somebody wants to, do something to you, they can liberate you from that situation. Okay. Raphael, Archangel Raphael, is the healer angel. He is a guide and a healer, and he will actually guide you towards your healing if you like. So that's what Raphael is all about. And Uriel is also a liberator angel in a way, but he's also a messenger. So just keep that in mind, that he is a messenger angel. And he actually brings messages from other celestial places. So that's one of the things that I would suggest that you contemplate on. And then there's higher angels. The angels in the hierarchy of the angelic realm are actually, Metatron is actually the voice of God. The actual voice of God is spoken through Metatron. And then there's Archangel Melchizedek, and Melchizedek actually is the architectural angel for all the other angels, if you like. He's the one that actually is like, the coordinator and coordinates all the angels. So those are the angels for the majority of the time that have been coming through me. Also, the other beings that have been coming through me are Virgin Mary, and also Virgin Guadalupe, and a couple of other beings like that. And then there's been some beings that are not from this planet at all. So that's been interesting. But I wanted to mostly talk about archangels. In the angelic realm, there's 7 or 10 levels of heavenly angels. Okay. And if you do some research on that, you'll find that that's absolutely correct. And then there's what I call the Godhead. Okay. And the archetypal angels of the Godhead, or the archangels of the Godhead, are like the ones that, like Metatron and Melchizedek, are Godhead angels. They're at the top of the hierarchy. And their position is actually to direct and to move, the other angels in the positions that they need to be. So that kind of gives you a little bit of my perspective of what I've been taught by the angels of who they are and what they do. So Mary, is that a question, Nan? I'm not sure if that's a question or not. So please let me know. I said Mary is an angel. Oh, you Virgin Mary? No, actually Virgin Mary is actually a goddess. She actually, when she lived, in the time where she lived, she is more looked upon as an ascended master, kind of like Jesus Christ. Okay? So the Virgin Mary is more like an ascended master or a goddess kind of thing. And yes, I do channel those. I've channeled Christ quite a few times. Actually, he's very, very powerful and very healing kind of being. And interestingly enough, I've never channeled Saint Germain except for now that I have that physical connection with him. I'm sure I will. And let's see. I've channeled who else? Kuai Yin. She's also an ascended master and a goddess. And Rama. I've channeled, and that's an Hindu god, by the way. So that's been fairly interesting to channel all these different beings. Has been quite spectacular. And what's really, really amazing is that the channelings that I've done, group channelings that I've done, or trans channelings, have then been confirmed and verified through other people that channel as well, that are providing exactly the same information. So that's what's pretty mind-blowing, is that there's not just me that's doing this, and I'm glad that there's not just me. There's many people that are now doing this, and it's a real blessing. And I would like to see at least half of the population on planet Earth doing this, because then we could break agreement with this dimension, the third dimension, fourth dimension, and go into the fifth and sixth dimension. And then we would live in a very different world, because can you imagine if everybody could telepathically communicate with one another? No secrets, okay? That you would be fully transparent, so you're not hiding anything, and you have nothing to hide. And then on top of that, instead of having competition, you would have cooperation with everybody. We would live in a very different world, and that's one of the missions that the angels have sent me here to do, is to assist others in this process of actually activating them. And that's what the DNA activation is about, and them starting to channel the information themselves and becoming higher beings. So this is why I'm here. So hopefully you can figure out why you're here as well. So we've come to the top of the hour. If any people have any thoughts or any questions that they'd like to ask before I wrap the show up, I'll be happy to do that. Just let me know. And a lot of the people that listen to my show actually said that they would love to hear me more doing these shows as opposed to actually having guests, because they think it's more interesting, the information that I bring forth. But anyhow, I think it's a mixture of both that makes this show so great. So if there's no other questions, and I don't see any other questions being typed in the chat room, I'm going to wrap it up. And I would love to see that video if we do have time to do that, Coach Steve. But if not, maybe we'll do it on my next show. And I look forward to having everybody on the next show. If you want to know which are the next shows tomorrow, because they're no longer on this page, so it's not as easy for me to remember which shows we are going to have next week. So if you want to find out, go to rcrn.info or go to Real Coaching Radio Network, and there you will find our upcoming shows. And I guess, let's see, Beyond the Living is Internet Business Strategies, but that's Wednesday, September 16th. And then The Science of Higher Purpose is Wednesday, September 16th again. And that's going to be at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And I guess at 1 p.m. Eastern is Internet Business Strategies. And there's much more. So please go to realcoachingradio.com. And on the right-hand side, you'll see who is on. And you'll be able to click on the link, I believe, and be able to go to the show directly. So I want to wish everybody a good night. And thank you, Coach Steve. Thank you, Nan, and we'll see you next week on the show. And have a great evening, everybody. Next week, hopefully, my guest, I will tell you that, will show up, and I'll see what happened with the guest that I was supposed to have tonight. I just with traveling to Shasta and all that didn't work out too great. So Ken Foster's supposed to be here next week on my show. The week after that, I have Mark Anthony. He's a medium and an attorney. That's pretty cool. So we're going to talk about mediumship. And today was supposed to be Coot Blackston, but for whatever reason that didn't work out. Probably wasn't meant to be. And then in October, I have quite a few other really great guests. Actually, October 15th or October 13th, I have a Barbara Marks Hubbard, and she's very famous and really well known. So I look forward to seeing you guys and actually for you to see me and to answer questions next week. So without any delay, I'll let Coach Steve play the video.
Melhores estão no Planeta Xuxa. Planeta Xuxa.